We'll find out. Anyway, should we get some reviews? We'll go to Regression, which we saw on Sunday. Joe?
Nah.
You didn't. It was Ryan's birthday on Sunday. And Joe's on Monday. Happy birthday to Perrier.
I'm 20 now.
Yay. What a birthday present Ryan
It's all downhill from here.
Mm-hmm.
My birthday consisted of getting up, having a realisation that I'm going to see this film, seeing that film.
And then,
but thankfully, it wasn't as bad as we thought. No. Because we thought it was going to be horrendous.
Considering when we did the show this time last week, I had 0%.
Yeah.
It now has one positive review from Mr. Mark Kermode.
Yes, from Kermode, of all people.
All people, who I thought would really... I mean, as a horror fan that he is, then, I
So, Regression, directed by Alejandro Amenabar, and I think I got that name right.
I think you did.
So I'll be happy. He directed The Others a long time, 15 years?
About 15 years, yeah.
About 15 years ago. I haven't seen that, I must admit. I'm surprised, though,
because supposedly really good.
In my horror... watches, obviously I've been saying about that a few times.
You did like a horror binge.
Didn't watch that, I guess, but I've wanted to watch it for a while. But this is a American-Spanish co-production. It's a psychological thriller written, produced and directed by Alejandro, starring Ethan Hawke, and they said Ethan Watson there. Ethan Hawke, Emma Watson, and David Thewlis, who I think is a really underrated actor.
Who you said last week, I haven't seen David Thewlis in anything for a while. He was in Legend.
He was in Macbeth.
And then this.
I know, but he's one of those actors where you pop. It's like, oh, it's David Thewlis.
Can't get away from him.
I really like him.
He is good.
I like Thewlis. He's like with Timothy Spall. I just love to see him and stuff. Like
it's sort of like with Paddy Considine.
Yeah,
I really like. Yeah,
who was also in Macbeth.
Yeah. But we pick up the film in Minnesota, in a sort of small country town in the year 1990. We're following Detective Bruce Kenner, played by Ethan, who is investigating the case of John Gray, played by David Denkick, who admits to sexually abusing a 17-year-old daughter, a molester called Angela, played by Emma Watson, who has no recollection of seeing that. He has no recollection of the event, basically. And but the whole film revolves around the fact that in the past 10 years before the film, and in the 80s, there was a spate of sort of satanic rituals. Is the best way to put
and it should be said that the film points out that it's based on true events.
Yeah, based on true events, satanic rituals that have been getting along and getting mass hysteria going along, and the fact that it's been sort of riling up these small towns into sort of fear and loathing. And Ethan Hawke is sort of getting involved with this. The man comes in who says he's abused his daughter, but he remembers nothing. So he brings in a psychologist who decides to use this thing called regression therapy, which is obviously where the title of the film comes from.
So you get it.
And you get it, yeah. And regression therapy basically is where you put the mind into a trance state using hypnosis, and you sort of, it takes you back into your mind, like lets you regress, so you can go through your memories and find out what you really saw and what was around you, so you can have your sort of sensory perception in the right place to find out what happened. It gets involved with that, and as the mystery deepens, they get more and more Emma Watson's character's family members involved, and the mystery deepens, and Ethan Hawke's character sort of goes down the rabbit hole a lot, and his character is basically, the best way I can put it, sort of a loose cannon cop. That's the best way to put it, because he's not off. He's by the book.
He's on the edge.
He's by the book, but he's.
Give me the rule book.
But he's by the book, but loose cannon. The fact that he seems to go off the end psychologically as he sort of gets more frustrated by this.
As you would.
But really. Because he's more frustrated because he doesn't feel like he's getting anywhere. Because as more family members get out, he sort of gets more visions and stuff, and he starts to feel like he thinks that there's corrupt policemen involved, and thinks that there's more people hiding secrets, and he doesn't know who he can trust. And it gets a lot more sort of vindictive as it goes along, and I do feel that it was an entertaining watch a little bit, and I stress a little bit because there was points where it's like this could have been a really good film in the hands of someone with a much better script and better actors, because
it certainly looked from just seeing it looked like it was a modest sort of budget.
Yeah,
it wasn't exactly a cheap like indie film.
It's so frustratingly waste of a potential good story, because
I love Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, I mean. No, I'm like, Ethan Hawke was just tragic in this. I'm sorry, like it was so bad. Like there's so many scenes where he's just sitting there and like he's trying to like suppress his rage, and he's trying to show that he's going off the edge, and he's just hitting things, and he's proper going for it, and he's like screaming, and like it's like, oh look at Ethan Hawke going off the edge.
He has a couple of outbursts, but it's both the same experience.
Exactly, like what a psycho Ethan Hawke is, and you don't believe in it at all. It's like it's Ethan Hawke acting.
Does he like rem me in at any point?
Yeah, at one point.
At one point he does.
Yeah.
It's so bad. I'm sorry, Ethan. You're terrible in this.
I liked him.
Emma Watson, who has come out in the past year or so, saying like she wants to only play characters which are going to strengthen the female spirit, is now playing a frigid, timid vindictive.
Especially when you consider the ending.
Yeah,
it really makes no sense at all.
It's just a very unlikable character, unsympathetic, just really pointless. Really, she's only there to cry and be a sob story victim. It's not what you want to see.
I thought her accent was shocking.
Exactly, awful American accent that breaks out in London English quite a lot. And you read,
she's too posh.
Emma Watson is much too talented for something like this. She does not need to play the victim. You know, I mean, obviously, there's nothing wrong with doing that. But Emma Watson has talent to take a lead role in a film.
She definitely has been followed around by Hermione.
Oh, absolutely.
I think Daniel Radcliffe's totally stepped out of it. He's done some really interesting roles, but
I mean, it's decently made, but I think to me, it's not even that dull. It's just. It exists, you know. It's not one of the, like, obviously we made a big fuss about something like True Story. On the was it on the podcast we talked about? Like,
it was on the show.
On the show, yeah, where it was like a film where I had nothing either side. That was the Futurama thing. I have no strong feelings either way. You know,
it just happened.
It was there. You know, I watched it and it exists. I remember something about it, and this is the same here because it's not terrible, but it's just it wastes its premise. The cast are generally awful. David Thewlis is okay, you know, because it's David Thewlis, but Emma Watson is better than this. Ethan Hawke terrible. The story's just not interesting enough to make you care. It takes so many swerves and there's so much unintentional humour. The satanic stuff is just poorly handled, and it's not scary or thrilling or entertaining or engaging. Crucially,
this review changed quick.
You don't get behind. Have you
literally changed your mind in these last?
No, I'm just like thinking about talking. Just like
it's just. That's the way to put it. It's.
You mean you said it's not that bad, and then you said like everything that's really bad about it.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's what I'm thinking.
You've missold it here. You've confused them all now.
I haven't confused them all at all. It's not. It's not that bad. That's the point. Because you just don't get behind them, and that's the problem. I'm not going around in circles here. You know what I mean.
This is like the most confused. But anyway.
Yeah.
Regress.
You've regressed back into my mind. Yeah. Well, I would not recommend it.
Okay, I will also say I wouldn't recommend it. I think it's nuts. It's just like it makes no sense.
It's nuts.
I mean, the whole thing is really stupid. It takes a lot of leap of faith to really get behind it, and the whole satanic ritual thing is quite sort of scarce anyway. Like it wasn't really a thing anyway. It was for that bit of time, but then it was like, oh, it didn't actually.
They're so vague with some of the definitions.
There's some sequences in there where it's like sort of student film, like that's a kind of like hallucination sort of thing you do, like dream sequences. The number of dream sequences.
Yeah, so many. It's so cheap as well.
To the point where it's like, oh, dream sequence.
Yeah.
He's gonna wake up in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I hated that. Like, I do want to stress that I didn't hate it. Like I said, it's not. It was I watched it and I did enjoy some elements. Like I said, it was a decent premise and it was okay. But the script was pretty
I'm wrapping
bad.
you up. I'm wrapping
so
you
there you
up.
go. We need to
I hated that.
I hated that part. Like I didn't hate the film. Like I said, usually the one twisting my words here, but no, I think it's so much heavy-handed symbolism and it's just. The last 10 minutes is irritating.
I didn't like it, but I didn't not like it.
Yeah,
I'm just totally indifferent.
Well, so do you think I made the right choices?
Yeah. It definitely didn't deserve the 0%, but it's a 15% film.
Perhaps.
Yeah,
it's not worth bothering.
It's okay.
And I think it's only on sort of occasionally, like late at night now. Yeah. So if you really want to go see it, search it out.
But I mean, you like Ethan Hawke, but
I did like Ethan Hawke. I like it. I like him.
There we go.
I like him a lot. Anyway.